First of all, let me say good after late afternoon. Because of the HIV virus that I have attained, I will have to retire from the Lakers.
At 66, the name Magic Johnson still echoes through arenas, documentaries, and the hearts of basketball fans around the world. For many, he is the smiling face of greatness, the architect of Showtime, the master of the fast break, the leader of the legendary Los Angeles Lakers dynasty. His no-look passes, his fierce rivalry with Larry Bird, and his 5 NBA championships have long secured his place among the immortals of the game. But behind the glittering banners and golden trophies lies a story few truly understand. A story marked by private battles, painful loss, and moments that could have shattered even the strongest spirit. At 66, the tragedy of Magic Johnson is beyond heartbreaking. Recently, reports surfaced that left fans shaken. At a press appearance, Magic appeared visibly emotional while addressing a serious health concern. Witnesses described the atmosphere as heavy and quiet, the kind of silence that settles when people realize they are witnessing something deeply personal. Magic, known for his radiant smile and confident presence, paused several times as he spoke. His voice reportedly trembled. Tears filled his eyes. For a man who has already faced one of the most public medical battles in sports history, the weight of confronting another health challenge carried profound emotional gravity. The room was said to be still. No whispers, no distractions, just the sound of a legend fighting to maintain composure. He acknowledged that life had tested him before. He admitted that he had endured pain that few could imagine. And yet, here he was again, standing before the world, refusing to hide. For those who remember 1991, the moment felt hauntingly familiar. More than 3 decades ago, Magic Johnson shocked the sports world when he announced he was HIV positive. At the time, HIV was surrounded by fear, misunderstanding, and stigma. Many believed it was a death sentence. Others wrongly associated it with shame. The climate was harsh, unforgiving, and filled with uncertainty. Yet Magic did something extraordinary. He stepped forward. He faced cameras. He spoke honestly. He cried openly. And in doing so, he changed history. At the height of his career, when he was still one of the NBA's brightest stars, he walked away from the game he loved. For a competitor whose identity was intertwined with basketball, a loss was devastating. Imagine being at the top of the world, championships won, legacy secured, only to have everything pause overnight. The announcement rippled across the sports community. Teammates were stunned. Fans were heartbroken. Analysts debated his future. Would he survive? But what could have been the end became a new beginning. Magic refused to let HIV define him. He became an advocate for awareness, education, and prevention. He returned to the court for the 1992 All-Star Game, and later joined the Olympic Dream Team, proving that he was still capable of greatness. He showed the world that a diagnosis did not erase talent, dignity, or purpose. Still, the emotional burden was immense. Living with HIV in the early 1990s meant carrying not only medical challenges, but social judgment. Every handshake felt loaded. Every public appearance required courage. He bore the weight of public opinion while managing private fears about his health and future. Yet through it all, he smiled. That smile became symbolic, not just of basketball brilliance, but of resilience. It reassured millions who were quietly fighting their own battles. Now, decades later, as he faces another health crisis, that same resilience is being tested again. But physical health challenges are only part of the story. Magic Johnson has also endured deep personal loss. One of the most painful recent blows was the passing of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, a longtime friend whose bond with Magic extended far beyond celebrity circles. Warner, beloved for his role in The Cosby Show and later performances in Malcolm and Eddie and The Resident, was someone Magic deeply admired. Their friendship was built on meaningful conversations about sports, business, culture, and life itself. They laughed together. They shared ideas. They supported one another through professional highs and personal struggles. When news of Warner's passing emerged, Magic publicly offered condolences, sending prayers to his friend's family. But those close to him say the grief was personal and profound. Losing someone who understands you beyond fame leaves a silence that cannot easily be filled. For Magic, that grief came at a time when he was already confronting personal health concerns. The combination of mourning and medical uncertainty created a storm of emotion. And yet, even in sorrow, he stood tall. Magic Johnson's life has never followed a simple path. Born Earvin Johnson Jr. in Lansing, Michigan, he rose from humble beginnings to global superstardom. His journey to the NBA was fueled by determination, talent, and an infectious charisma that captivated audiences from high school gyms to the grandest arenas. When he joined the National Basketball Association in 1979, few could have predicted how profoundly he would transform the game. His 6'9" frame redefined what a point guard could be. His court vision seemed almost supernatural. He didn't just play basketball, he orchestrated it. The rivalry between Magic and Larry Bird revived the NBA during a critical period. Their battles, from college to the professional stage, brought energy and attention back to the league. Together, they elevated basketball to new heights. But success does not shield anyone from pain. Behind every trophy was relentless pressure. Behind every celebration was the weight of expectation. And behind the smile was a man navigating the complexities of fame. The 1991 HIV announcement forced him to confront mortality publicly. The recent health diagnosis has reopened emotional wounds, and the loss of a close friend has reminded him of life's fragility. Yet perhaps what makes his story so powerful is not the pain itself, it is how he responds to it. At his recent appearance, after pausing to steady himself, Magic reportedly made something clear. He will not give up. He has fought before. He will fight again. Those words carry history. When he first stood before cameras in 1991, he could have retreated into privacy. He could have allowed fear to silence him. Instead, he chose transparency. He chose courage. And now, at 66, that courage remains intact. Sources close to him say he has begun treatment surrounded by family, friends, and former teammates. The same locker room bonds that once fueled championship runs now provide emotional strength in hospital rooms and quiet conversations. Support has poured in from fans around the world. Social media filled with messages of hope. Former players expressed admiration for his bravery. Many called him not just a sports icon, but a symbol of perseverance. Magic Johnson's legacy has never been confined to the basketball court. Yes, he is a 5-time NBA champion. Yes, he is a 3-time MVP. Yes, his name is etched permanently in the Hall of Fame. But his greatest contribution may be the example he sets in moments of vulnerability. There is something profoundly human about watching a legend show tears. It reminds us that greatness does not eliminate fear. It does not prevent grief. It does not stop illness from knocking at the door. What defines a person is how they respond when it does. Magic's life is a testament to resilience. From the peak of his athletic career to the uncertainty of an HIV diagnosis. From triumphant returns to painful goodbyes. From public scrutiny to private reflection. Every chapter has tested him. Every chapter has revealed strength. And as he stands once again at a crossroads, facing health challenges and mourning a friend, the world watches not just a basketball icon, but a man who continues to choose courage over despair. At 66, Magic Johnson is still fighting. Not for championships, not for applause, but for life, for purpose, and for the promise that adversity will never write his final chapter. And that is only the beginning of this heartbreaking story. What makes Magic Johnson's journey so deeply emotional is not simply the challenges themselves. It is the pattern of resilience woven through every setback. When he first announced his HIV diagnosis in 1991, the world did not fully understand the virus. Fear dominated headlines. Rumors spread faster than facts. Some questioned whether he should even be allowed near the court again. Others whispered harsh judgments. It would have been easy for him to retreat. Instead, Magic leaned into advocacy. He founded initiatives to raise awareness and invested in underserved communities. He used his platform not to protect his image, but to educate. Over time, medical advancements transformed HIV from a near-certain death sentence into a manageable condition. And Magic became living proof of that progress. Still, survival does not erase emotional scars. Living decades with a serious medical condition requires discipline, vigilance, and strength. It means regular checkups, careful routines, and constant awareness. It means knowing that your health is never something you can take for granted. As he aged, each milestone birthday became more meaningful. 50 was a victory, and now, at 66, every year carries gratitude. But gratitude does not eliminate grief. The loss of Malcolm Jamal Warner struck him during a period already filled with reflection. Friends who rise together in the public eye share a rare understanding. They know the pressures. They know the expectations. They know the loneliness that can exist even in fame. When such a friend is gone, it leaves a space no spotlight can fill. Magic described Warner as kind, thoughtful, and inspiring. Someone whose presence lit up a room. Their conversations were not superficial. They were layered with insight and humor. Losing that companionship was like losing a piece of shared history. At the same time, facing his own health battle forced Magic to confront vulnerability again. Aging brings perspective. It softens some fears, but sharpens others. Time feels more valuable. Yet even in vulnerability, Magic has demonstrated remarkable composure. Those who saw him speak recently noted that although tears were visible, determination was stronger. He reportedly raised his fist, a quiet but powerful gesture signaling defiance. That image resonates deeply. It mirrors the young man who once stood before cameras and declared he would continue living fully despite HIV. It mirrors the competitor who returned to the court when many doubted him. It mirrors the entrepreneur who built a business empire after basketball. Magic Johnson has never allowed tragedy to define him, only to refine him. Family has played a crucial role in that strength. Surrounded by loved ones, he draws energy from connection. Teammates who once ran fast breaks beside him now stand beside him in solidarity. The support system is not performative. It is deeply personal. Fans, too, remain a source of motivation. For decades, they have celebrated his achievements. Now, they rally behind his courage. Messages of hope flood timelines. Former rivals express admiration. The basketball world feels united in wishing him strength. Perhaps that unity is part of his legacy. He helped revive the NBA during a critical era. He turned competition into storytelling. He showed that charisma and sportsmanship could coexist with fierce rivalry. Off the court, he demonstrated that vulnerability and leadership are not opposites. At 66, Magic Johnson embodies more than athletic excellence. He embodies endurance. The tragedy of his story is not that he has faced illness and loss. Many people do. The tragedy is that someone who has given so much joy to millions must endure such heavy burdens publicly. Every tear becomes a headline. Every pause becomes analysis. And yet, he continues to show up. He does not hide from difficult conversations. He does not mask emotion with false bravado. He allows the world to see his humanity. That may be his most powerful lesson. Greatness is not about avoiding hardship. It is about confronting it with integrity. Magic Johnson's life has unfolded like a dramatic arc. Meteoric rise, shocking diagnosis, triumphant return, business success, personal grief, renewed health battles. Each chapter carries both heartbreak and hope. And as he faces the present moment, the world is reminded of something profound. Heroes are human. They cry, they grieve, they fear, but they also fight. Magic's story is still being written. Treatment continues. Support surrounds him. Determination remains visible in his eyes. And while no one can predict the future, one thing is certain: he will approach it the same way he always has, head on. At 66, the tragedy of Magic Johnson is beyond heartbreaking, not because it signals defeat, but because it reveals the depth of his humanity. It shows that even legends endure storms. It reminds us that strength is not loud. Sometimes it trembles, pauses, wipes away tears, and continues speaking. And in that quiet persistence, there is something truly magical. Not the kind found in highlight reels, but the kind found in courage.